Good day. How is everyone this fine Friday the 13th? And that's the anniversary of the fifth apparition of Our Lady of Fatima. It's also no meat today, and try and do no sugar, and no added sugar anyway. It's almost impossible to not do any sugar since they put it in everything. And we're going to talk about some more Strawman information. And did I miss anything? I think we got it all. Getting ready, yes, to fly to Florida on Tuesday, and we'll put together a travel mass situation. Put it all in my luggage rack over the airplane. It'll be tight and we'll be minimalist, but I should be able to pull it off. All right, let's get started with our good day prayers and get right into one thing about the straw man that I'm going to talk about, which is the conditional acceptance, which is a very powerful method of avoiding controversy, but yet calling out the fraud. All right, so we want to act in honor and in good faith, and this is one way to do that, so that the ones who are acting in fraud and in bad faith can't bully you by taking you and dragging you into court. All right, because court is only there for controversy. It's when parties do not agree. And so we can avoid that by through the contract and offer means of a conditional acceptance. All right, let's get started. In nomine Dei, Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Trinitarian Theophany, and in Catholic contemplation, humbly venerate the Divine Family. Most holy and venerable Trinitarian Theophany, one divine family, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O Trinitarian Theophany, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O Trinitarian Theophany, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Trinitarian Theophany for the many graces that we receive and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven and for the souls in purgatory. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good. Let us beg of the Trinitarian Theophany the graces which are necessary to us. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Dea Matronam Nostra, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Dea Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Jesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because they offend thee, O Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. So we'll start out with the apparition of Dea Matronam Nostrae on September 13th in 1917. This apparition refers to the fifth one, which took place on September 13th, 1917. According to accounts, this apparition held several remarkable phenomena. 1. Heavenly light. The apparition site, Cova da Iria, was transformed into a holy of holies, unquote. That was described, filled with the majesty of the Trinitarian Theophany, as described by witnesses, the way they understood the essence of the area as it was transformed. Only the three children, Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta, saw Our Lady. 2. A miraculous preview. This was something I hadn't thought of before. This apparition served as a preview of the miraculous events that would unfold on October 13th, 1917, the next month. And how is that? It's because the heavenly light would illuminate the area. That's the preview. Our Lady instructed the crowd, including the children, to continue to pray the rosary in order to obtain the end of the war. This message was repeated for the fifth time, emphasizing its importance. And there were supernatural signs as well. Witnesses reported a rare and spectacular heavenly sign, which was later verified by legal testimony and photographic evidence. So that occurred as, again, a preview or a precursor to the miracle of the sun for the next month. These events, as described in the search results, highlight the significance of the September 13th apparition as a pivotal moment in the Fatima apparitions, foreshadowing the miraculous events to come and emphasizing the importance of prayer and devotion. And so that was my quick search, and I know that usually MHT or CW will put something very nice on the website or on in the comments section, which I appreciate very much. So keep that paramount in your minds. Okay, so as I was saying, we're going to talk about the continuation of this straw man. What happens is there's what's called postal demands. So we just take it for granted that things come in the mail, okay? These bills are demands that come in the mail, okay? They're bills or demands for amounts of money to be paid. If you get a demand for payment, you will notice that it is not addressed to you, the human, but to the fictional straw man, which I described as with all capital letters and such. this name sounds like your name, but is not the same. So we need to practice recognizing the difference. And one way to do that is to actually write out and recognize your name the way it should be as a human being. And that is punctually correct and grammatically correct, which would be your first name with capital in the first initial. Then you spell your first name in lowercase. Then there's a hyphen immediately after the name, and then your middle name, again, first capitalized and lowercase for the rest. After your middle name, you put a colon, okay, which means, I should have looked this up, but it means something so that it separates one, but it's of another. It's basically meaning of the family of, and then the last name. Okay, so you have first name, hyphen, middle name, colon, space, then the last name with the capital in the beginning and lowercase. At the end of that, you can either put period, and that would be it, or when dealing with legal entities, you would put a comma instead of the period and put in beneficiary and then period. The period is important because it stops anybody from adding anything to your name after that. Okay, so that's the way you should be learning to write your name when you are as the human being. Okay, so the company invoicing the strawman is hoping that you don't catch on to the fact that it is not you who is being billed, and so make the payment as a mistake on your part. Now, I'm going to take exception to this because I would say that 99% of the companies and people in the companies don't know this. And they believe that that is who they are speaking to, and they believe you owe this money because they don't understand the whole big deception going on. When I first learned about this years ago, I was told that they know about this, but in reality, when you talk to them, they don't have a clue, just like with a lot of the faith issues that we talk about here. So we have to be compassionate. We have to be virtuous when we're dealing with them. That's why I like the conditional acceptance letter. Okay, so when you have something that you receive that really belongs to be paid through your trust account, as part of the deal that the government made in the United States and in the UK. I'm pretty sure that it's the same in the UK. I don't know about other countries. I've just seen, and Canada is also the same way. So, okay, now if you wish to take a direct stance when dealing with let's just call this a fixed penalty notice charge. All right, that's what they call it here. This is an example of a reply to them, and I'm going to read it out completely so that you get what is being said here. Dear sirs, please read the following notice. Now this is you responding to a demand for a debt which should be paid through your account, and they're ignoring it. Please read the following notice thoroughly and carefully before responding. It is a notice. It informs you. It means what it says. The reason why you need to read it carefully is simple. Oh, and by the way, this is coming from Meet Your Straw Man, and whatever you want to know, available at the National Liberty Alliance.org. Okay. The reason why you need to read it carefully is simple. I am offering conditional agreement. Okay, so that eliminates the controversy. This removes controversy and means that you no longer have any ultimate recourse to a court of law in this matter, because there is no controversy upon which it could adjudicate. You always have the option of dragging these conditions into a court of law only to be told that they are indeed lawful. It is, of course, always your prerogative should you decide to waste your time. For this reason, it is important that you consider and respond to the offer in substance. The nearest official form will not suffice, and consequently is likely to be ignored by myself without any dishonor on my part. On the other hand, there is a time limit on the agreement being offered. It is reasonable, and if it runs out, then you and all associated parties are in default, removing any and all lawful excuse on your part for proceeding in this matter. For these reasons, it is recommended that you carefully consider this notice and respond in substance, which means actually addressing the points raised herein. You have apparently made allegations of criminal conduct against me. You have apparently made demands upon me. I do not understand these apparent demands. Okay, it's important in that even though you may grasp the meanings, you do not stand under them. So if you say that I understand, especially when anybody asks you who wants something from you that you know you shouldn't be giving them, you say, I do not understand. Even though sometimes you feel it may make you look like you're a simpleton, it's actually very, 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 very effective, okay, at stopping aggressors, okay, especially courts and police. I do not understand those apparent demands and therefore cannot lawfully fulfill them. I seek clarification on your document so that I may act according to the law and maintain my entire body of inalienable natural rights. Failure to accept this offer, to clarify, and to do so completely and in good faith, within 7 days will be deemed by all parties to mean that you and your principal or other parties abandon all demands upon me. I conditionally accept your offer to agree that I am a legal fiction person, quote unquote, in this case, Mr. Christopher Mark Lees, and that I owe £70 for services rendered by your company upon proof of claim of all the following. 1. Upon proof of claim that I am a person and not a human being. 2. Upon proof of claim that you know what a person actually is in legal terms. 3. Upon proof of claim that you know the difference between a human being and a person, legally speaking. 4. Upon proof of claim that you know the difference between the terms legal and lawful. 5. Upon proof of claim that I am legal fiction person, Mr. Christopher Mark Lees, being the entity to which your paperwork was addressed, and not Christopher of the Lees family, as commonly called. 6. Upon proof of claim that the charge was the result of a lawful investigation unmarred by prejudice. 7. Upon proof of claim that I am a member of the society whose statutes and subsisting regulations you are enforcing. 8. Upon proof of claim that I showed you some sort of identification. 9. Upon proof of claim that there is a nameable society that I belong to, and that the laws covered within any alleged transgressions state that they apply to me within that named society. Period. Sincerely and without ill will, vexation, or frivolity, and then it's signed by, with a colon, and then Christopher of the Lees family, and then you could put their comma beneficiary. And then he ends it after the name, without prejudice, i.e. all natural inalienable rights, or inalienable, I've heard that said, rights reserved. Please address all future correspondence in the matter to a direct human self, namely Christopher of the Lees family, as commonly called. And so that's one way to put a stop, because in essence, they're not going to take the time to fill that out. And by them not fulfilling that obligation of responding, whoever leaves the field of battle loses. So, and that's in contract law. That's a maxim of law. And so you want to stay in there, and you want to, and if they come back and answer you with frivolity, like you said you wouldn't do, and them not answering in substance, then you respond to them and explain to them that they did not answer it, etc., etc. And usually they will go away. And again, you want to be very, very careful about this, because the way that I've experienced that is they will respond in aggressive ways that they only know how, which would be just saying, if you're doing your electric bill, they'll shut your electric off. If you're doing your car payment, they'll repo your car, or they'll give you bad credit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a quite involved process to be able to be free. To be able to be free is work. All these things, though, should be taught to children so that they can grasp the idea. I had one of my son's friends stop by yesterday because he had heard that I had gotten this IRS check, and he wanted to know all about it, and I was more than happy to share what I know. And that's what we need to do. And hopefully I can work with him and also bring him to the faith that this is what's most important. That part is, it is a truth, and it is part of Trinitarian Theophany, but the virtues and the holy desire to see the Trinitarian Theophany are most important. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments section, and or send me an email. And thank you to the Mealies for the donation and for requesting rosaries and scapulars. And I got a note saying that they received them, and they felt something when they put the scapular on right away. And that's good. Not everybody gets those feelings, okay? It's something that, it's like a gift. It's funny, I don't receive too much of that. My spiritual, soulful life and journey is more about perseverance and trying to attain the transforming union as best I can. All right, let's get started with Mass. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, oremus. O Trinitarian Theophany, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one Trinitarian Theophany, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, hanc immaculatum hostium, quam ego indi ignus famulos tuus offeditibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro inimitabibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus sed pro omnibus fidelibus, Catholicorum vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et idis proficiat salutem. Deum qui culminae substantiae dignitatem mirabilitu condidisse et mirabilis reformatio da nobis, peruis atque et vinum mysterium eius divinitatis esse consortes queminitatis nostrae, fieri notus est pater ceps Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui ticum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum deprecantis clementiam mutuc aspectu divinae majestatis tuae, pro nostra dotius mundus salute, cum adore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipiamara te Deum Iesum Christum, et sic fiat sacrificium nostrum ec aspetu tuo hodie, uplaciat tibi Deum matronam nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificite plata prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas Sancta Oblationem contivi afferimus a mammonem passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum. Et in honorem Dei matronam nostrae et a Papa Peter Sanctorum et Istorum et omnium Sanctorum, ut lidis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et idi pro nobis intercedere dinenter in caelis, quorum amorem agimus in telis per eundem Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meam ac vestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat ab Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tui, sed laudem et gloriam nomini sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum obiscum, et quoque apate, sursum corda habemus ad Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te igitor clementissimi, Mater et Pater Deum matram nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum per Deum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrae, supplices rogamus ac petimus, uti accepta habeas, et sanctificas haec sanctam sacrificium ilibata. In primis quae tibi afferimus pro ecclesiam tuum sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare, custodire ad honore, et regere, digneris toto orbi terrarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum caetorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Katie, Gage, Eleanor Lively, Marie Josephina Mose, Mark Jr., Henry, Barbara, Benedict, and Robert Santa Croce, Casey, Mr. Nobody, Anne Botink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Michaela McLarnon and family, Janalina Laurie Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, the Cahill, Kendrick, Dasco, Naita, Forbigan, Wolf, and Kane families and all their intentions. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sedevacantis Catholic Council office and monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse, and any kind of human trafficking anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium of exchange with no usury. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society. We pray for the conversion of all sinners trapped in a state of mortal sin, especially the ignorant. We pray for the elimination of all harmful radiation waves in our air and in our homes, to shut down CERN, and to close all gateways and portals. We pray for wisdom on how to operate small farm food production and animal production. We pray for the elimination of, we ask for a reversal of the feminist ideology and a return to godly femininity, and that quote-unquote gay marriage be banned, and all pornography and the OnlyFans platform be stopped immediately as well. We ask you to block the passage of any so-called pandemic treaty by the WHO, again, based on lies. We ask that lying become a stigma instead of an advantage. We ask that all the lies from the WEF be exposed, and that institution comes to an end. We also ask you to destroy all forms of Freemasonry, to block its tentacles that are everywhere throughout the lands, and bring the members into the submission of the Trinitarian Theophany through correct baptism and confession and by love. All these things we ask in accordance with the Trinitarian Theophany's holy and divine will. Et omnium circumstantiam quorum tibi fides cognita est et nota devotio pro quibus tibi afferemus, vel qui tibi affronto sacrificim laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum prospe salutis et calamitatis suae. Tibi credum volta sua aeterno Deum vivo et vero. Communicantes et mamonem venerantes in primis gloriosae, semper Deum matram nostrae, et de Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum Papa Sancti Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meditis, praecibusque congedas ut in omnibus protectiones tuae munum exidio per in Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblationem te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratem acceptabilem facere digneris ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat edictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pateretor recepit panem in sancta sacra honorabilis manus suas, et elevatis oculis in calamate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens. Consecravit, fregit didique luminis sui dicens, accipite et amando cate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremoniae est, accipienser hunc praeclarum calicem in sancta sacra honorabilis manus suas sit in tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecravit didique luminis sui dicens, accipite et bibite ex omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum, haec quotes cum vificeritis memoria faciatis. Unde et memores Deum nos servituis, et plebs tua sancta justum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae, tam beate passiones nec non et in feris rejectionis, sed in caelos gloriosae ascensionis afferimus, praeclarae maiestati tuae de tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio ac sereno vutur respicieri digneris. Supplices te ragamos Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ibi hec per fide per manus tuum ut executaris participationis sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem subsenimus, omni sanctificatione caelestia gratia Dei per amor per in Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died, and we especially pray for Albin Saletka, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibum, in Christum quiscentibum, locum refugere lucis et pacis, ut indulges dac amor per in Christum Deum nostrum. Per quem haec omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est tibi Deum Patrum omnipotentium in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea matronam nostrae, matronam Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis, peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos, quae sumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Deum matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitius pacem in diebus nostris, ut ope misericordiae Tuae aduiti et peccato simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbationis seculi. Per indum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui tingem vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum et quoque apud te, aecum extio et consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat excipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, qua prande Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuam unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacro sanctum corpus et sanguinem tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me tui semper in harare mandatis, et atinum quam separati permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis et reinam aeternam. Percetio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indignius sumere, paesimo non mihi proveniat in idicum et condemnationem, se pro tu pietate prosit mihi ad tumentum et isse corporis, et ad me delam. Percipiendam qui vivis et reinas, cum Deum matronam nostrae, in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem celestem accipiem, et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Dea matronam nostrae non sundinius, ut in dissertate meas, in tam dediquerbos naberonum mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sundinius, ut in dissertate meas, in tam dediquerbos naberonum mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sundinius, ut in dissertate meas, in tam dediquerbos naberonum mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodia eternam mea. Quid retrubum Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus quae retribuit mihi, calicem salutaris accipiem et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo. Laudanzim vocabo Deum matronam nostra et ab inimicis meis abusero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Opus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. Qualoris sumus Deum Iesum Christum pudum et capiamus et timurem et apparae fit nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum, quod samsi et sanguis quem potavi ad haereat visceribus meis apraesta, ut in non remania scelero macula quem pura et sancta reficerunt sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O Trinitarian Theophany, that thou mayest free them from all sins, and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one Trinitarian Theophany, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te, ite mis est. Deum gratia. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium servitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificium cor oculis tuae majestatis in minus obturitibus et acceptabilem et omnibus, pro quibus illud oculis et miserante propitiabe Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam Nostra et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, gratias. Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of God Jesus Christ, who was and ever shall be, present here in reparation for the outrageous, sacrilegious, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and the immaculate heart of God, our Lady, who was, is, and ever shall be, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum, matronam nostra, et Deum Iesum Christum, Deum Patrum, Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Thank you for attending and for helping out in whatever way you can. Please go and sanctify all those you meet. Share them the different types of deep things that we talk about here, deep truths, which always makes things interesting, doesn't it? All right. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.